How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Today I will be going over how strong is Hawkman. Very cool character I've always wanted to go over on the channel. Carter Hall, if I'm to be specific. And let's talk about how strong he actually is. But first, very fast shout out to those that have donated to the channel. Thank you very much. Helps out a lot. Appreciate a lot. Rhymes. Talking about fighting experience. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna get to that later. But guys, this guy's been reincarnated too many times to be counted. He is cursed to die with his true lover, Hawk Girl, and yada yada yada. He was actually a prince, 19th dynasty of ancient Egypt. He reigned. There was an alien space crash that happened. It was revealed to be from the planet Thanagarian. There's this nth metal. Oh, them powerful metals that fiction. I talk about this in my Marvel videos, how adamantium or vibranium are the weapons that help lower tiers be able to hang with top tiers. Nth metal is a very overpowered weapon. You'll see. Nth metal. Like NTH. The ship had mysterious metal on it. It let him craft cool weapons and tools, yada yada yada, far beyond anything a normal metal could do, and somehow granted him the ability to fly. You see Hawkman hanging out with characters like Black Adam, Teth Adam, stuff like that, defending their kingdom from various threats, which is probably why you're going to see Hawkman appear in the new live-action Black Adam movie I'm super hyped for. He's had many lifetimes, even some lifetimes including him being a slave and even an adventurer, a knight, and etc. He's just very cool.
Reincarnations of Qatar and Shayera Hall. It's destiny. I've waited thousands of years for us to find each other. I can wait a little longer.
And no, I was not playing when I said his body has absorbed a lot of nth metal into it. You know what I mean? Thanks to his past life actually being a priest, he can bless water, aka making it into holy water against the darker side of stuff. You know what I mean? He states here, part of me is still a bishop, Thomas. Holy water. He speaks over thousands of languages. He's very educated. And it's crazy that he actually remembers his past lives. I remember all my lives, he says. And it's true, even Carter Hall's memories. Oh, that brings me to the thing is, this is made possible thanks to the retcons DC likes to do. There's Qatar Hall and Carter Hall. During the 0 Hour event, they evidently merged and stuff like that. All kinds of super crazy events that retcons origins and stuff like that. The stuff DC likes to do. You know what I mean? Just work with me here. I mean, for Pete's sake, it was even explicitly stated. It states here, this guy says, so Mr. Hawkman, just a few timeline things here. If you could walk me through them. There was a Hawkman in the Justice Society during World War II, and then there was a Hawkman in the Justice League, and there was that armored commando guy Hawkman a few years back. Who are all these guys? All of them. They are all me. It's difficult to explain. Take my word for it. So yeah, they're basically all one and the same. All they feats should share one another, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm just going to go over both, right? His merge with Qatar Hall made him Thanagarian. I hate to be that guy that's on the nose. Well, he is Hawkman, and he can kind of control a flock of birds and kind of communicate with them. He even controlled birds to attack. He pretty much has allies, right? Or he could use a bird to scope out an area to do some reconnaissance or something, you know what I mean? Nth metal gives him ridiculous abilities, like the fact that it lets him see for miles. Our wings gives us flight, strength, accelerated healing, and my vision. Yep, he has accelerated healing, by the way. More than one occasion of him exhibiting enhanced vision. If that makes sense, right? He's one of those characters where he is enhanced physically and in combat speed and in his senses and in his sight. But let me go back to his standard gear, which is pretty freaking overpowered. That nth metal is what's causing all of this ruckus, right? But there's more. Like, for example, what if I told you during one of his mini battle feats fighting Captain Boomerang, he can use his wings as a weapon, like using the wings as a gust of wind to knock back boomerangs. He can use them offensively. And they can be used to negate gravity. The nth metal we have in our wings harnesses. It negates the effects of gravity on us, gives us the gift of flight, and we can carry 20 times what we normally could. He can lift over a ton, and it protects them from getting cold. Oh, they armored up. Like, there's been plenty of cases of him using different pieces of gear, like an axe, for example, and even a shield. Can you imagine playing this in some type of action adventure game? That would be fun. It's powerful enough, and he can swing hard enough to cut through trees with it. The shield is strong enough to take attacks from powerhouses like Grundy. No telling what his power level is in this particular occasion. He's literally the definition of inconsistent, but that's impressive. Look like he got a dent though. And of course, it can indeed cut through metal. His shield can disrupt energy weapons right here. It says here, if metal woven through it disrupts your energy sword. This is the weapon you probably recognize the most, the mace made of nth metal. Yeah, he's armored up. And his mace actually disrupts magic, the nth metal in his mace. It's like a magical counter thingy. Magical people, you might want to watch out. This reminds me of how the episode of Hawk Girl was able to beat up Grundy, because in that episode he was amped up and powered up by magical energies. You remember that episode of Justice League Unlimited where Hawk Girl had to beat Grundy with the mace because the mace repels magical stuff? I know comics and TV shows are different lore and different continuities, but I thought that was a good reminder that there is still comic accurate stuff in the animated series, even though that's not canon to the actual comics, but you get the point. You know what I mean? Like, he literally has weapons that can pierce dark stars, like this crossbow, for example. You think this is not a big feat? Dark stars are the same beings that are villains to Green Lanterns. So they're extremely powerful in that regard. They literally have weapons that can harm Green Lantern tier beings. I'm just saying. It's not to be slept on, these crossbows. Oh yeah, by the way, this sword is forged by Modred, son of Morgaine. It was even consecrated in the blood of a dragon. He's been on more than one occasion been able to disrupt magical barriers. Nth Metal Blade is able to do this. Axe he uses even can cut people like Etrigan. This is some very broken gear. You know Etrigan, the same guy that fought Lobo? No, I'm not playing. A legit Superman tier got cut by Hawkman axe. Tell me that isn't crazy. Yet this happened. Hawkman should not be slept on. You can get an idea based on his combat skills or based on how he fights, like throws this here. Characters like Prometheus said he can't even predict him really. In his lore, he is skilled in almost every major weapon. Too much fighting experience though, right? Dating from ancient Egypt to the present day. This dude be having a gauntlet fighting waves of people. This reminds me of Bloody Palace from Devil May Cry. Let me just take all of you on my own, right? Look at this cool backflip technique. Booyah! One of his most overpowered pieces of gear of all time is known as the Claws of Horus, probably his best standard gear. It is created from nth metal. They were created by Nabu himself. Yes, that's right. You're hearing that correctly. Nabu the Wise. He was a Lord of Order and a cosmic being. This is the same God spirit resides in the Helmet of Fate. He is the source of that great power hold for those that bear the mantle of Dr. Fate. Yeah, the same being. Claws of Horus. You heard that correctly. I have a whole video on Dr. Fate, by the way. So yeah, there's a reason why the Claws of Horus are so beast. It draws its power from the magnetic core of the earth. Claws of Horus are so powerful they can render nth metal armor inert, absorbing its energies, making it useless. It's like the ultimate kryptonite against Thanagarian armor or nth metal armor, right? And you remember this from this movie, Superman Batman Public Enemies? One of my favorite movies just because it literally looks just like the comic. Hawkman used these Claws of Horus against Superman. It states here, it's called Claw of Horus. It draws the power from the magnetic core of the earth. Essentially, I just hit you with the planet. Planetary type power, right? And it should be noted that it is kind of magical, right? Which is why, but to do that, what? Say word? Let's not forget Hawkman fought Batman for a little while. Oh, but don't let me get off topic right quick. This actually happened. But I will admit it's worth noting that there's a good chance that Superman wasn't really knocked out because it states here. We needed more time. Hawkman and Captain Marvel came to Japan to capture us. We let them think they did to allow Katana and Power Girl to get the boy. Blah, 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 blah. So the Superman could have been pretending to be knocked out or something like that. But yay, it hurt him quite a bit. And the Claws of Horus is pretty much confirmed to be in the planetary ranges at least, right? Isn't that fair? Right?
Play it that way? Fine.
I want you to know I wish it
Didn't have to be like this. Before I black out.
Freaking love that scene and Public Enemies in general, man. Top of all that, he has a good healing factor and pretty good pain tolerance. Like an arrow in the side doesn't really make him really flinch too bad. Oh, no big deal. A machete just cut me. Like, oh, okay. He can even counteract truth serum because the nth metal counteracts it. He's more resilient to toxins than Sandy is. He got his throat slit. All they had to do was put his wings on him, right? And it heals him. He's took some crazy stuff when it comes to durability, like a blast from Magog, a blast from Blackfire, ouch. Starbolt blast from Blackfire, ouch. Remember that machete I brought up earlier? It can not able to even get that deep. He seemed like he ate a bullet. He was able to endure having gravity pushed upon him, brick wall being crushed on, literally fighting Black Adam. Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it? Yo, we're not just gonna ignore these battle fees. Like a straight on punch from Black Adam. He didn't die from that. You know Black Adam don't be holding back like that though, guys. I gotta admit, it's pretty hard to get a read on his physical strength, but I'll do the best I can. Lowballing the living heck out of him, he has to be in that super soldier tier. It was stated he can at least carry a ton. He catches this car in this incident. He was able to steer a plane from the outside of the plane, bootleg style, with his raw brute strength. Literally stated on panel, he lifted a guy that weighs a ton. This pretty much was it for me. Flies a plane to the ground, graved his hands into it, like that level of strength. Flies at the ground to safety. And all of this is not counting his Claws of Horus, of course, that overpowered gear. Another good way to figure out how strong somebody is their straight on old-fashioned punching power feats. He threw this guy so hard in the same scan I showed you already, destroys a statue in the process. Punched this being out of a plane with his attack power, warping the door in the process. Does this to a large stone pillar with his attack power. Just little small measurements, I say. There was this elephant demigod. He used his blunt power to punch him. Booyah! Thanks to his mace, he can destroy in front of cars, striking power. He even slammed a foe through multiple flights of a fire escape, slamming power. It's a foe so hard. This is what happens to the poor car. He even stopped a speeding car, and yeah. He loves slamming folk through concrete walls, Takuya. Hey, you can't hate on him. This dude be fighting Adam. He slammed Adam through a brick wall. He got hit and wasn't instantly knocked out and then tried to tackle him again. You know what I mean? He kept coming for more. He's fought Kryptonian, broke his mace though in the process over Kryptonian's face. His attack power, hole in the stone wall, thanks to that ridiculous mace and his striking power. Hey, yo, check out this crater. Yo, he took out 2 Thanagarian warriors with one blow. Hey, but the thing about Hawkman's attack power, whatever he does like an attack power, he can kind of make up for it in velocity, like using his flight speed, like tackling people with the momentum of him straight up flying. Like the time he slammed folks through wooden floors, flying through a car, making it slice in half. His momentum seems to make his attack power even better. Hey, he's even fought Green Arrow, slammed them hard enough to destroy a pillar. And Beast takes out this being known as hardware. Get sit flying, Yeti. I'ma blitz you like through the side of a Thanagarian ship. He's strong enough to rip a door off an airplane, by the way. During the Superman Batman Public Enemies event, he ripped out of Batman's grapple, tears through metal bars because he's that strong. He can even say screw doors. I'm just gonna rip through an airplane. Rips the roof off a car. He even ripped out of metal restraints. When it comes to raw speed, he can fly 2 miles in a very short amount of time. He flew from Louisiana to Los Angeles in 33 minutes. He's fast enough to react to speedsters, like the Speedster, for example. Blocks bullets with his reaction time. This is very low, easy work. Intercepts an arrow mid-flight because he's that quick. He can even hit him out the air at point-blank range. Swings and knocks it out the way, right? He's even faster than a falling elevator. All right, let me go back in time right quick. Katar Hall, you know, they're all him because I showed you earlier how they merged and stuff, but let me just, yeah. And somehow fly with broken wings. He knows nerve strikes. Martian Manhunter even struggles to go in his mind thanks to the number of souls in him. Ain't that crazy? He can extend his vision by looking through the eyes of nearby birds. The smell of Thanagarians is so good. Like, actually trying to infiltrate Thanagarians is like near impossible. Like, good luck trying to spy on them because they will notice you out of the bunch. He can detect fear, see auras. Think of these auras like his way of being able to have like a scouter, like Dragon Ball Z, being able to tell if they're a good person or a bad person and how strong they are. Like, check out this large piece of rubble. He lifts up right here. Not too big, but not small either. This is when they was separated, but they eventually merged. Yeah, 2 different Hawkmen. Yeah, I know. That's why I tried to tell you. Seems to inflict pain on Aquaman somehow. Post-Crisis Aquaman, I got a whole video by him. This is kind of way more impressive than you think. Does this to Silent Knight's shield with his attack power. He can one-shot beings that are comparable to him, like one-shotting Hawkwoman. Night. He even survived crashing from low orbit. Like, whoa, he ain't dead from that fall? What if I told you his wings, these super hard wings, can block pistol fire? They can even block shurikens fast enough to react bullets, not only just being durable enough to him. And deflecting a bullet. Reaction time, right? His standard gear never ceases to impress me. Like, it's consistently being able to hurt, harm black hole level beings like the Claws of Horus, for example. Even when he's not using the Claws of Horus in different continuity, he still use his wings in this particular occasion, can cut through Green Lantern stuff, which is star level and black hole level too. Like this occasion, made of nth metal. His armor has a built-in shadow suit, even has claws in the gauntlet. Like, okay, his standard gear is very much a part of his character. When will the standard gear end? He has a graviton pistol that can blow up ships. It can even blow up elevators. Bruh, this is just insane. The graviton pistol can cut through anything that isn't specially shielded. He even has a gun harness that creates a shielded battle suit. Can create sizable explosions. Yeah, another Cajun Fighter Aquaman panel here. He has concussive grenades, shuriken. Tell me why he purposely makes it unbalanced just to prevent people from using it against him. Talk about paranoid. Katar is unbalanced perfectly. It can even cut through an alien ship, by the way. I know I'm going to old panels. Yeah, he basically has a blade, axe, and whatever you need. Shadow field generator. Low-key got some marksmanship, low-key. Like disarming folk with shuriken. Yeah, I know, I keep going back to this. Throws 2 shurikens, 2 mummy heads. And what's it like to be Hawkman Hawkman without using a crossbow gun, hitting targets, marksmanship on deck. And the two Hawkmen can even fight each other before being merged into one, of course, right? Yeah, continuity. So how strong is Hawkman, right? He's kind of hard to gauge. He's one of those characters where he is heavily reliant on his standard gear. His standard gear is very important to him. It's literally just him. It's one of those things where without his standard gear, you can't really call him Hawkman, so you can't really scale him without his standard gear. But when it comes to physical strength wise, I would say he might be a little bit lower than the Spider-Man or symbiote tier of strength, or definitely concrete in the super soldier tier with, you know, the super soldiers, Batman, Captain America, and etc. Even though Captain America's from Marvel, but you get the point. This is a good example of, with his gear, he should be in at least the medium heavyweights of DC Comics. He had a full-blown fight with Black Adam, right? As you can see here, it looks like they slugged it, like boom, boom. Yeah, he's bleeding here. With his standard gear, he's able to give Black Adam some issues, right? Notice how he uses his strategies and tactics to block with the nth metal. The nth metal is the thing that helps him be able to hang in there, in my opinion, with this. I'm assuming he doesn't have the Claws of Horus, because why would you not bring that out against somebody like Black Adam? Yeah, he's pretty hurt and banged up here. You know what I'm saying? He has weapons like axes that can harm people like Etrigan, for example. His Claws of Horus can harm Superman, pretty much confirmed to have planetary busting power. Reaction time should be in those microsecond levels or even nanoseconds, because if we assume he's not astronomically slower than characters like Black Canary, for example, which we know he's not. I mean, he has to have comparable speed to characters like this to even be able to fit in this universe of super fast or quick people on their feet. Remember, Black Canary was stated on panel to be in those nanosecond ranges, which is 1/billionth of a second, but if that's an exaggeration, we know she's at least in the 1/millionth of a second range, microsecond range, based on my other vids and stuff like that, right? Just consistently, right? But for the most part, that is just about going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Did you guys know Hawkman was this strong? For those that still don't understand, I would say characters like comic book Superman are at the very top when it comes to the powerhouse elites, and then medium powerhouses would be characters like Starfire, in my personal opinion, when it comes to the ranking, right? So I would say Hawkman safely goes here with the combination of all his gear and stuff, especially merging with, you know, both halves basically of himself in different continuities, right? With his gear, he's definitely here concretely, but without it, I would say he's in the super soldier ranges with Batman, Nightwing, etc. Characters like that. Does that make any sense? I hope so. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? What's you guys' opinions on his ranking? What do you guys think he's at? What range of power do you think he's at? Do you think I should rank him more often without his gear? But his gear is such a deep part of him. So what do you guys think? You think I should rank him without his gear or with his gear? Or both? Or, you know what I mean? Is it fair that way, right? Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Not to mention he has a long assortment of weapons. But I will see you guys next time.